Hello, all. Welcome to Hot Guns Out Podcast, episode 138, Knights of Lord
Good
Stanley.
Lord. Wow.
I'm your host,
Wow.
Bill Dean, of course, here with my two co-hosts, Schwim and Shorts Guy. Little Steve's taking the night off. He has gonorrhea, I think. That's real bad.
He told you that in
I'm
secrecy,
sorry, Steve.
and he just blabbing
what-
That was
everybody.
strict
Wow.
confidence.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We are brought to you by Primetime Radio, courtesy of Sam Woods on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Please leave us a 5-star review if you'd be so kind. Schwim, what are you drinking?
Hello, guy. This has been in my fridge for quite a while. Yeah, I don't know about 5 years, but maybe over a year. I don't know. That Rightness by Dogfish. It's what is it? It's a wild ale aged in port barrels for 2 years. It's very, very tart. I wonder if it got more and more tart as I left it in there.
Could have.
6.9%, not too bad. It's a bigger bottle, almost 13 fluid ounces, but so far so good. Very tart, very good.
Sure.
Nice. I am drinking high quality H2O. That comes from
Nice.
300
Ooh, I
feet down below
like
my
it.
house.
There's nothing better than a good glass of water every now and then. It really
It's
does.
true.
You can have a very good taste sensation with water. I feel there really are some waters you
Especially-
drink and you're like, wow.
And I would put it out there that my well water is one of those types of water where you have it and you're like, wow,
Good.
this is really good. So very happy with the well water which came in my house.
Yeah, we don't dare
Alright.
drink the water over here. I think Cynthia was looking up and it's like heavily full of copper. and God knows what else.
Yeah,
We
none of
try
that
to stay away
stinking
from
city
it.
water.
We have a little rule about the water here. If it's brown, drink it down.
Brown,
If it's
drink it
black,
down.
send it back.
I like it. All right, myself, Bolero Snort, Sour Pasture Calves, Tropical Vacation. This one's got pineapple, tangerine, peach, and passion fruit. So, Bolero
That's a lot of peas.
and it is.
Yep. Is it?
It's sour and it's tropical. It tastes like I think it tastes like the gummy bears, like the tropical gummy bear version they have. You ever had those guys? Like the ones like different
Mm.
passion fruit and stuff. Yeah, it tastes like that.
All right.
All right. Well, let's get to what's on tap for today's episode. Here's a look snapshot. I don't know if you guys knew, but the Golden Knights of Las Vegas are Stanley Cup champions.
Get out of town.
And I think they're definitely having a better day or better weekend than BB Rexa, who got hit in the face with a. Did you guys
I
get
saw
hit in the
that
face with
today.
a cell phone?
I saw that, and
I
I
concert.
have no idea who that person is, but I saw the video.
She's a singer. I
Okay.
was literally just watching the TV before it came in, and yeah, walloped in the face by on her own concert.
Ooh.
Someone
Yeah.
threw a cell phone right at her cheek, and she went down. and
Yeah, I saw
almost
that. It was,
almost as down as Bill Carlson.
corrected.
Did you see him fall down the stairs
I saw that.
at the
I might be
parade?
I might be one of the only people who hasn't heard his drunken
It is
speech.
awesome.
But I saw
It
video, a
is
little bit of
fantastic.
video, and I saw him fall down the stairs. That's it.
He goes.
I heard
his
it's one for
first
the
thing
ages.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But his quote was, or his start of it was, "Hi, I'm Bill Carlson. Some people know me as Wild Bill, and I like to party." And he was so drunk, and
Nice.
and he was talking. He was talking for a little while about how the city is the best, and he's been there for forever.
Mhm.
And the first game against Arizona, he goes, "Get out of them, the F out of them," and he goes, "But I didn't have any points," and everyone starts cracking up. And then they're trying to the PR lady's trying to give the microphone to Jam to Marsha So, and he's like, no, and he just kept going, and very good. Highly recommend everybody listening to that. 'Cause it's
Yeah, I'm gonna have
obviously
to
not
check
with
it out.
any young children around, but very fun.
And you know what? All right, I thought I froze here.
What?
It is a little
Can I
choppy
show him
on my end.
Yeah, a little.
All right.
Burke, he said
not just me.
He said actually.
Uh-oh. Shorts guy's breaking up here a little bit. Sorry, Shorts. Maybe you want to try again. Nope, now we don't have him at all.
Oh boy, can you still hear me?
Oh yeah, that's bad. Yeah, I can hear you. All right. So, anyways,
all right.
We'll let Shorts guy get situated a little bit, and then he can come back. The Shorts guy, you hear us?
I think, I think I'm back.
Now you're better.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds a little better.
Anyway, like we were talking to Sean Burke last night, and he said that was a little bit out of character. He said that's not the type to step up and talk like that.
Okay.
So thought that was kind of interesting that's made all the rounds, and apparently that's a little bit out of character for him.
I mean, it was funny because he had pictures of him partying with his sisters, and just like he was all over the place. He was having a great time. Him, Aiden Hill. Did you see the interview? He's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. He was like Ricky Bobby, and and then he was doing Eminem's "Lose Yourself" in front of like the whole Vegas crowd at that whatever bar rave they went to that night. This is what we'll get to the games in a second and the overall stats and stuff because it's some pretty good stuff. But if you win a cup and you're not in Vegas when it happens, I feel like the after parties suck because like you didn't hear anything about Colorado, you didn't hear anything about Tampa, but both Vegas winning in Vegas, Washington winning in Vegas, these are like the two best post-championship parties we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do have a point there.
I mean, Tampa's when what's his name, Kuchar drunk, obviously on the party boats. That has some funny moments, but like the entire Vegas experience is ridiculous. You want to win a championship in Vegas,
I guess. Yeah, I mean it's a party city, but and they're living it up, and I'm sure that they're not paying for anything while they're out partying. But it was making the rounds today. I saw it was making the rounds again that what's $150,000 bar tab by the Bruins.
Yeah,
in the early 2000s. So that's making its rounds again too. So you can have an epic party. It's just some parties are a little bit not as in your face as they would be in Vegas, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of the other ones like go kind of under the radar, but this one's like in Vegas, so I think it's gonna be much more extravagant and more well known. Plus, it's like that city's kind of, I guess it's like their first championship. I don't know if they won anything in any other sport at like a minor league level or anything like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see. And I'm going to have to check out that drunken,
there's
drunken
I'll
speech
send you
that he had.
Spit Chicklets just, I guess, reposted it, but it's he's like, I think 7 or 8 of these guys are just shirtless, and Wild Bill and Jam are just completely sloshed. It is, I mean, it's a fantastic, and everyone's, because some people are complaining, oh, you can't let this happen on TV. The Stanley Cup is the hardest thing to win.
Yeah, let them friggin' go off.
Yeah, and what these guys put their bodies through and their minds and everything to get and win a cup, and we'll talk about it in a second with the injuries that you see from. We won't know about Vegas injury a little while because obviously, they're all liquored up and no one's going to feel pain for a couple weeks. But Ekblad, what he went through, and we'll talk about the injuries. But these guys, they just beat the crap out of themselves the entire year, and let them go off and have fun because they deserve it.
They've loose
fought for this
after all that
their entire lives.
Yeah, no, they deserve that party. Let them have it, like you said. Let them enjoy the moment because you never know, that moment may never come again.
Yeah,
so
that could be it for them. They might never win another championship again.
It could be it for all of
them. Bruce Cassidy takes the mic. The first thing he says, back to back, and he's rounding up the crowd. And I'm like, well, there you go.
There we go.
That's gonna that'll hurt. As we said, Jam wins. But Jam wins the Conn Smythe. He was fantastic in the playoffs. I believe he was second in scoring total for points. He was tied for first in goals with 13. Yeah, Eichel won the points lead at 26. He had 25. Eichel also won the assists leaders, 20. But Jam was all over that series. I want to say he had 6 goals. Give me a second.
He was clutch. How many
Jam had
clutch goals?
Jam had 4 goals, 4 assists. Mark Stone had 5 goals, 4 assists. Beast.
He went off in that series.
Eichel had 8 assists, and Stone also quite the he had the cup around him, and he was also he was having fun out there. But they had guys all over the map that kind of contributed from from Barbashev, who's going to get paid. To Chandler Stevenson was really good for them. Shea Theodore, Brett Howden. Stupid Brett Howden wins a cup.
Former
2 goals, 2 assists.
NYR and TBL.
And Tampa Bay. This guy.
Stupid Brett Howden.
Stupid Brett Howden. Start the game with the Misfits. Game 5, where they eventually get the win. Obviously, Vegas wins 4-1 in the series over the Panthers. Game 5, they start the Misfits. Have Jam, Wild Bill, and Riley Smith at the face-off dots, forwards, and then on the back Theodore and McNabb. The only person that couldn't get in there was Carrier, who he actually got to touch the cup before a couple of these other guys, but obviously a really great series for them. Felt like the Panthers just didn't have the gas anymore, and you could see that right away in Game 5. They go down early, and it just floodgates open. They win 9-. What was that score? 9-3 was the final. If I
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, 9-3. A tough game. Bob 1-4-1 after pretty much almost assuring himself of a Conn Smythe if he had a good series in the final. 1-4-1 and 844 save percentage. Just all-time stinker for him.
Mm-hmm.
You guys tell me, but I thought Barkov was terrible and pretty much non-existent. You have Matthew Tkachuk, who has the game winner in Game 3, but he, 2 goals, 1 assist. He has the injury that takes him out of game totally, broke his sternum. There's the rumors that, but people have said out that, Brady Tkachuk had to lift him out of bed and his teammates had to put his jersey on for him. So it's tough to see, in a clinching series or clinching game, you can't see your best player out there.
Yeah. Yeah, when that all came out after the series about what the Panthers were dealing with and what Tkachuk was dealing with, it's like, holy crap, these guys are really hurt. And they still went out there and they still did what they could. And, that was at the end of Game 4 when Tkachuk had that chance in the net, right in front of the net at the end of the game there. It's like, well, now you can see why he maybe would have missed it.
Yep.
But yeah, if that's all true about Tkachuk, which I believe it is, to have your brother help you get out of bed and have your teammates put your skates on and tie your stuff, like that's, I gotta say that just shows the determination to play the game. This is what you want, and this goes right back to what you were saying earlier about people complaining about the Golden Knights being too drunk on TV for the parade, but holy crap, like listen to what Tkachuk went through in order to try to win it, and he lost. It's these guys go through a lot.
Schwim, did you see the injuries to Ekblad?
I heard it was like
amount? So
didn't he have like 4 or 5 like different injuries?
A broken foot, 2 separated shoulders, a concussion, and a torn. Like,
Jesus. And the broken foot was from, it wasn't even in this series. It was in like
Boston series.
The first series. That's nuts.
Yeah. The guy is
they were beat up. I think I have a new found respect for him after playing through all that. And without Tkachuk, they looked like an entirely different team. And with I don't know what percentage you could put Tkachuk at for that game, Game 5, but he was nowhere near 100%, and it showed. And like they weren't able to, I guess, compensate for one, him being out of game, and 2, him not being at 100%. They just did not look the same. So I think it finally all that stuff caught up with them, and that's. But give Vegas credit too. They played very, very well. Never let their foot off the pedal, and now they're friggin' champions.
Brandon Montour with torn labrum. Elliot Friedman had something last week. Yeah. Last week, Elliot Friedman had something about Mark Stone will essentially have this debilitating injury the rest of his career, and it could be something where he only plays in so many games a year, or he only plays in the most important games. Yeah. And he did kind of bring that back a little bit and said that the surgery that he did have this past off season should make that better and shouldn't have this many. Just the thought of back is so bad that he could possibly only play in playoffs or only play in a certain number of games a year, because he'll just be out for even longer if he does that. That's craziness.
Sounds.
I worry about him after his hockey career, like how bad his back is going to be once he's done playing.
Yeah, and it's the same with Colorado's captain Gabriel Landeskog. The same thing where this guy's going to miss now 2 seasons, and he essentially will maybe because the Cup year he didn't play in most of that season. Then he wins the Cup, plays in the playoffs, and then he's out now for another 2 years. So that's just, these guys are ridiculous.
Sounds like cap circumvention to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I come up with any kind of excuse.
Yep. And then they did say, so Friedman also said that this year the NHL went after Vegas hard when they found out that Stone was going to be out the whole season. They wanted medical records. They wanted like everything to double check that this was serious. And they got, they came back and said, yeah, it really is something that Mark Stone's going to be dealing with for a while. And it was legit. So still though, between him, Leonard, they have so much on RTIR. We'll see.
They never went after Tampa though. Never went after Tampa.
They never went after Tampa. Yep.
They can't go back in time. Once it's passed, that's it. You can't go back.
Okay, here we go. Curse is real. 19. Boston beats. They lose in the finals. Montreal beats the Leafs. They lose in the finals. 2022. Tampa Bay beats the Leafs. Loses to the finals. 2023. Florida beats the Leafs. Losing the finals. If you beat the Leafs, you're most likely to lose the championship.
It means you're going to the Stanley Cup, but losing.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I might take that. I'll take that.
So if you beat the Leafs, you lose the cup. I don't know. I would not take that.
The Leafs, you lose the cup. Yeah. But I mean, if you're guaranteed to stay on the cup, it's a fun run.
However, notice it all comes down to the Leafs not winning the cup.
Yeah,
always.
That's the other common thread. The Leafs are not winning the cup.
Yeah.
Remember, they won in Florida.
Did you guys see that the Vegas wins the cup? Literally the day after was the 1-year anniversary of Bruce Cassidy. He essentially was for the players. The players in the exit interviews said that they'd kind of lost the message, and that's why he was let go. But obviously tonight, that night he was Stanley Cup champion and the cup for the rest of his days. Which, as a Bruin, and a fan, you have to be happy for him because he did really well with the Bruins. But as a good old big for Cassidy to the Bruins organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially after they had the season they did. And then they go and they watch the coach they let go on to win the Stanley Cup when they lost in the first round to the Panthers, who just barely got in. And I think the Bruins may have been the Bruins may have been the. I don't know if this is a fact, and I'm just going to throw this out there, but it's got to be possible that the Bruins were the first mathematically clinched team.
Yeah,
earliest mathematically clinched team in history. They had to have been.
I think December. It was December or November, right? I'm trying to remember. They had a so many game lead after. I think it was. They had so many of a game lead after it was somewhere in November that it would have been almost statistically impossible for them not to make the playoffs. It was like one of those deals where they obviously didn't clinch it, but it was that so far ahead of everyone else. It was almost impossible for them to lose it. It would be like an epic collapse.
When they had an epic collapse.
They sure did.
JJ, let's make JJ a little depressed. Jack Eichel, 20 assists, 26 points, 1.2 points per game in the playoffs. His first playoff series, the first round. He was worth every bit of money that Vegas is paying him, and they got Jack Eichel being second overall draft pick to Connor McDavid, gets the cup before him, shows why he is one of the best American players there is. He was fantastic. I like it.
Yeah, no,
I'm happy. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, he definitely. I was a little bit when that trade happened. I was a little bit skeptical that Vegas was going to put all that out for him, and all the crap that he'd gone through with Buffalo and the surgeries and the second opinions, third opinions, and all kinds of crap. So I was like, man, is Vegas just like wasting their time and their capital to get this guy? But it turned out he was, it was well worth it for them, and he did very well for him. So good on Eichel for doing that, and it sucks for people like JJ that know that he was their guy for a long time in Buffalo, but Buffalo just could not win the state. They couldn't even make the playoffs. But it just shows. It just shows when top talent, and no offense, JJ, but rots away on a bad team, how their careers can just take a nosedive, and then all you need is a change of scenery.
Yep. Jack Eichel also is the first skater with a 10+ million average annual value to win the cup in the cap era. No other team has had a $10 million player on their roster.
Damn. All right. Again, good for him.
Good for him, but it shows it shows you don't have to pay these exorbitant contracts to win the cup.
Yeah.
I mean, because we all know that we all know Edmonton's not going to be winning it with anytime soon, and neither will Toronto, and they're going to have some multi 10 million plus contracts. So I don't know. It's who knows? That could change though with the cap going up in the next 2 years. So that could potentially change.
I think we could see them both taking like a nosedive talent wise, like in the next coming seasons. I don't think they're going to be as good. I think Toronto's going to like start to go downhill. I think Edmonton could start, not that they've really accomplished anything, but start to go downhill. I mean, and I was saying it before, I'm like, I don't think McDavid's ever winning a cup with Edmonton. He's going to have to go to another team, and that's when maybe he'll finally have a chance. Because I don't know, I just these teams just keep recycling like the same thing. Now Toronto hired another GM that was. What did he do for Calgary? Not all, not that much. And now he's their GM. It's just like, what are they? I don't know what they're trying to do here. So, and I think Toronto's going to have to. I think they're cap strapped and are going to have to trade away some assets to stay under the cap. So,
when you tie up half your cap space in 2 or 3 forwards,
it's tough.
You can't put together a solid decor, and you can't find a good solid goalie, and that's what Edmonton has been plagued with, is not having a good goalie. I mean, they had Lightning legend Mike Smith for a while, and did okay, but not perfect. But that's what happens when you start to put all your money into these 1 or 2 players. You wind up not being able to build a good, solid team, and I think that's what you really need, is a good, solid team when it comes down to it.
They never build from the back out. They always say you have to build from the back end out, and that's where you could maybe see your team have consistency over the years. And these teams just, although they're pretty good teams, like, don't get me wrong, but they can't ever take that next step to becoming like a great team, like a consistent. I mean, I'm not trying to toot my teams on, but my team's been pretty consistent for the last few years, making the playoffs, made 3 deep runs in a row, won 2 cups, lost the third one, made it to the playoffs this year, had a disappointing first round this year, obviously, but it's like the same story out of these places all the time.
Where does your team's consistency start from, though, Schwim? Where does it
where
does it all end?
From the back.
From the back end, from Vasilevsky on out.
They drafted well. They draft their D guys well. They obviously draft their goalies well. When they got him, he was like pick 15 or whatever the hell it was in the first round. If they do a redraft of that one, he's clear cut number 1 overall pick.
Oh, absolutely,
over everybody.
Bassy.
Oh yeah.
So you got to build from there out, and then add as you go. So, but I don't know. Toronto and these teams, they just don't get it, and it's gonna be more of the same. I think like every year from them.
You had some fun stuff on Twitter. Like one of this guy's comments: Golden Knights are going to win the cup, all because Pittsburgh Penguins couldn't beat the blanking Chicago Blackhawks.
Yep, it's all Pittsburgh. It all comes back to being Pittsburgh.
It all comes back to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Florida Panthers were ranked the worst Stanley Cup finalists since the Florida Panthers in 1996. Did you see that?
They broke their own record. Good for them.
They broke their own record. Yeah. Another one for Phil the Thrill. 3 cups.
Good for him.
Meme of 3. Yeah, he's awesome. I love Phil Kessel.
I love Phil Kessel.
Him with 3 cups and 3 cups filled with hot dogs. Absolutely fantastic.
The most unathletic looking person in the world has 3 Stanley Cups. I love it.
He really is the person that everyone should look up to, because this man who
anybody
really
can
doesn't look like a professional athlete. Yeah, anyone could be a Stanley Cup winner.
You could be a Stanley Cup champion if you model yourself after Phil Kessel.
Mark Stone, the first hat trick in the Stanley Cup final since Peter Forsberg in Game 6 versus the Panthers, actually.
Wow.
Also, the first player to record a hat trick in a Stanley Cup clinching series, which, I mean, since 1922. Pretty cool. Braden McNabb, he said, came out in the after they won the cup, and he's like, "Did you hear what Bill Foley said?" And he basically spoke into existence, where at his press conference when the Knights were added to the league, he goes, "Playoffs in 3, cup in 6," and he got it on the mark.
Wow.
Hey,
pretty cool. I love owners like, I mean, just give me,
that's the league needs.
Yeah.
The league needs owners that are able to do that and can, put their money where their mouth is, and to actually go out and try to do this versus, just kind of not. You know what I mean? It's I think you guys, the point I'm trying to make, I just can't articulate it very well right now.
Yep.
But it's good to have these types of owners that are gung ho and willing to put the money forward and to do it. But it's also hiring the right people too underneath them. That's the key thing too.
I was gonna say, and to stay out of the way. And I know Shorts Guy could almost, maybe you're going towards this point. Jim Dolan, who does spend the money and does, do the things that an owner should do, but then he sticks his stupid fat face into the business and makes you ruin it. So thank you, Jim Dolan. I hope you rot.
We were talking last night about where the Devils would have a party when we win the Stanley Cup. Like, where in the hell would we have our parade? And I suggested maybe we rent out MSG and have our party at MSG since no one will be using it at the time.
Oh my God!
I mean, I love it.
And then you could blow it up afterwards.
Yes, blow it up.
I love it.
There's Godzilla's. We got to blow it up.
Yes.
ESPN and a whole bunch of other pundits gave their rankings on, for next year, and they have Vegas one because obviously Cup winners, and they put Devils too. So give the Devils all the pressure in the world. Please do it. Let them fall on their face. It'll be very fantastic. Lastly, Vegas had the highest cap payroll of all teams ending the season with a cap hit of 96.5. Obviously, they had 14 million on injured LTIR. And I guess this goes to my question about what to do going forward. And we'll talk about this over the offseason a little more. But Aiden Hill is about to get a good payday. Maybe
he's going to just like, what's his face from Colorado? Win a cup, go somewhere else.
So my question is, do they go to him and essentially say to him, if you take somewhere 5 or less per year, you could stay here? Because I think you could find a trade partner for Robin Lehner at $5 million per year. But if he wants more, maybe they say, all right, Lehner, you're already on the books for $5 million. Just come back and play with us. We know that we have Brossoit and Quick is probably going to be gone too, but they have some other guys that maybe, Logan Thompson that they could come back and use. Maybe that's something that they can kind of leverage.
What happened to him, by the way? What was his injury that he was out for so long for?
Who? Thompson?
Logan Thompson. Because he was playing pretty well before he got hurt.
He was playing pretty well. He was a rookie too, right?
I never heard it. I just heard he was out and then he never came back, and I never heard what his ailment was. But I don't know. Hill, I think he's going to be. I think he's just going to be offered something that he's not going to be able to turn down. I don't think he's staying there. He's going to be
Aiden Hill.
Aiden Hill.
Yeah.
It'd be stupid, I think, to let him walk. He is a UFA.
They should try to pay him, but I think somebody's.
But that's why I'm saying if he wants more than that,
is he a UFA or no? Is he a UFA?
He's a UFA. He's a UFA. Yeah. They got Logan Thompson for 2 more years at league minimum,
which is good. If he's healthy, that's good.
So if they can get Aiden Hill to stay for $5 million a year, I think that would be a really good contract for Aiden Hill.
Yeah,
and to stay there.
Somebody's gonna offer him something stupid. I guarantee it.
I don't know. It's possible. Someone always does.
I think they will. Somebody will come. Like Edmonton will come calling or something.
They might. Edmonton
or Toronto.
But then how is Edmonton going to pay? What space does Edmonton or Toronto have to pay?
That's what I'm saying. These teams are going to have to ship people out.
Yeah, Edmonton has $6 million on the cap open, but they have to pay Bouchard a new contract. He's due, so they're not going to have that money. And Tampa, not Tampa, definitely doesn't have money either. So I don't know.
No.
The Maple Leafs have 9, but the Maple Leafs have Samsonov and Matt Murray.
Yep.
Well, he's an RFA, and Murray still has 1 year left on his UFA, and then he's a UFA.
I'm sure you could send him away.
I think Aiden's dumb to leave if he. I think he would be dumb to leave if he decided to leave. He basically won that cup for that team. He can do whatever he wants in that town.
Yep.
He was a big part, right? And that was another thing. Vegas had probably 6 guys that could have won the Conn Smythe, and you wouldn't have batted an eyelash to either of them winning. So
I thought it was going to be Stone or Eichel. I was surprised when it was Marchessault.
I thought it was going to be Stone.
I wasn't.
A lot of people were talking about
Marchessault
for that final game.
But yeah, I thought it was more likely Stone or Eichel or even Hill. But no, I agree with who they chose though. So you couldn't really go wrong with who they picked. I think.
I mean, two Tampa Bay and Rangers former players on this team. They showed that they were worth it. 43% down from last year. The Stanley Cup Finals broadcast ratings.
Yeah, I saw that.
Was not
that
good.
Sucks.
Nope. Series,
so
just the final game.
Suck. The whole series.
The whole finals, yeah, it's down. Right. They said it was the lowest since like 2006 or 2007, something like that.
Well, for like hockey guys, it makes like you watch it because it's you appreciate what these teams have done, but all the casual viewers, they're like Florida and,
they're not gonna watch
Vegas,
it.
Like it's nothing.
I'm
No.
curious how many of the games were going up against the finals too.
I think they were all on opposite days.
They were opposite days because Miami they're in the same arena. Miami was playing the opposite end, same ends. So.
Okay, so they had to be up.
Yeah. Matthew Tkachuk, his first season as a Florida Panther, 99 games played, 51 goals, 82 assists, 133 points, 10 game-winning goals, plus 41, Hart finalist, Eastern Conference champion, MVP. The guy was electric this year.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
And he touched the Prince of Wales trophy. He touched the Prince of Wales.
He did touch it.
They all did. Pretty celebratory manner as well.
Yeah, they had fun with it. And I think, if I remember rightly, Vegas touched the trophy the year they lost to Washington.
And they didn't this year.
They didn't this year, yeah.
Yeah.
Shorts guy might be losing you again. Michael Anlauer, the Toronto billionaire, repeatedly has won the bid to own the Senators. The Calgary Flames hire Ryan Huska from inside their own organization. The Pittsburgh Penguins, which we'll talk to Steve next week, but they have Jason Spezza join them as assistant GM, so we'll see who becomes the GM under Dubas, but Spezza rejoins that team.
He's the assistant GM with no GM, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And there's no GM.
Yeah, it's funny. You're
already
the GM
would
want to hire his own. Yeah, you figure GM would want to hire his own. I don't know.
That's got to be.
I could see them just double teaming. I could see them being like Dubas is like the main dude, and Spezza is They don't even hire anyone.
It's possible. Maybe they'll hire Steven.
Maybe. That'd be great. We could get a brewery
nice.
then.
Yes.
Peter Laviolette, New York Rangers. So I'll preface this by saying,
Peter,
welcome home.
Yeah, welcome home. Former player. Actually, the only games he played in the NHL were with the Rangers. All right. So right off the bat, the only reason I didn't like this hire is because I wanted a fresh new voice. I hate the retread. I know that we'll talk about Laviolette in a second, his overall stats, and he is a very good coach. But I wanted a fresh new voice. I wanted offensive system that could come in and put something new into this team, because the 5v5 is not very good, and everyone knows it. We have an awesome power play, and we have a very good stud goaltender, top 3, and they're relying on that, and these guys to step up and score goals in the power play. And 5-on-5, we're just getting trampled. And I was hoping that someone could come in and redo that. I know Laviette's not bad at 5-on-5. I think he's middle of the pack. Gerard Gallant is not good, so good thing. But I just, I was hoping for a Jay Leach or a Halpern or one of these other guys. But here we are. So Laviolette gets a 3-year deal. From what I heard, even the first year, he's basically guaranteed a year, because if they find someone else that comes in the market next year, and I'm sure they're looking at a couple guys in Sullivan and Sheldon Keefe. But if one of those guys comes available, I think he's going to get fired, and they're going to pick him up. But Laviette's 21 years in the NHL.
Year.
Yeah, 21 years in the NHL. He's been with 5 stupid metropolitan teams, which is, to me, that just looks terrible. But they didn't renew his contract last year with the Washington Capitals. Coached the Hurricanes, the Islanders, the Flyers. 752 career wins, which is 8th, most winnings coach, and he has the most of wins of any American-born coach. Listen, he won a cup. He's a good motivator. Well, at least they say he's a good motivator. You see everything about him blowing his gasket on 24/7. I'm just like, right? It's you don't have any good feelings. You don't have any bad feelings. Yeah.
It doesn't feel any different. It feels like they just hired like another, like the same, not the same as Gallant, but it's just, recycling again.
Was this a Chris Drury move or a James Dolan move?
I think this was, I'd say 51% Dolan, 49% Drury. Well, actually, probably 60-40. I think the owner came down to Drury, and he said, "Listen, you need someone with experience, Hines, Laviolette, whatever. I just don't want someone to come in fresh-faced and blow it," which could happen. I mean, Jay Leach should come in and be bad coach. It's within the cards.
And Laviolette could come in and you win a Stanley Cup. Who knows?
Yeah, he could.
We know that's not happening.
What I will say is Laviolette will not lose the playoffs for us. I think we're still a playoff team. I think anyone would kind of jump at that one. So it's not going to be whether he can get us in the playoffs. It's going to be what he can do in the playoffs. If he doesn't win a series, he's going to get canned. And if he doesn't win a convincing series, I think he also gets canned. I really do think he's on a borrowed time already.
Yeah, the 3-year contract doesn't really scream to me that this is your guy and you want him there for as long as possible. But I don't know. I could see them if they have a good year next year, and I think even if they have a good year next year, but somebody who they really wanted suddenly becomes available, I think he'd still be canned.
Yep.
Even if they have a good year. If he has a bad year, then that's the reason they'll use, I think, to can him no matter what. But I don't even think he's going to make the whole 3 years. I think it's going to be 1 or 2 years, and then he'll be gone for either somebody that they really wanted or because the team's not performing well under him.
Agreed. All right, Trost guy. You guys had a big signing just for Brat. I know. 8 years, $63 million. What is it? What's his AAV? 8 point what? Uh-oh.
I can't hear you, Shorts guy. I can't hear him.
Well, I think it was like 8 point something.
No, it was
obviously
7 and change.
Oh, 7 and change. Okay, I thought it was 8.
Changes
Like,
so
I guess it makes sense.
So Jack makes 8 or 8.5, and everything basically has to be below. So he makes 7 points, but it comes out to a total of $60 million for the total length of the contract.
Yeah. So you get that comes down the pack. What about Timo Meyer? Has there been any sort of?
Yeah,
I don't know. There's talks about it.
So apparently Timo wants to stay. He wants an 8-year contract. My guess is he'll probably get a little bit more than Jack when it comes down to it. But apparently they're moving towards a long-term where he'll stay with the Devils for at least another 8 years. So that $10 million qualifier to give him, but I mean, you would have to pay $10 million to Sharks with the shape that they're in. I guess it's Fitzgerald would have done 3rd June. I really actually wouldn't be got announced before then.
Before the 3rd of June?
30th. 30th.
Oh, 30th.
The 30th. Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, we'll see what the Devils do. I'm hoping they sign him to a monster contract. That'd be fantastic. And then he sucks. So I think he's overrated. Anyways,
their goaltending situation there. What are they going to do with that? Are they potentially trading somebody away there, or that's going to be?
Kenzie Blackwood is one that'll be traded away. And then this will be Schmid and Vanacek.
Go the 1A, 1B.
It could. They could definitely for the season because Vanacek got after playing all the games that he played. So my guess is that with goaltending, and then if he takes it over, it's not like Vanacek is a absorbed contract to not a Bob contract. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. God, no.
Yeah, I was just quickly looking on, I guess, Cap Friendly, and you guys are cap space. Where are you guys at with cap space for this year?
I don't know.
Because I know you have 4 guys that are signed long term already. Hughes, Brott, Hischier, Palat, right?
Yes.
I know they got a bunch of. You guys got a bunch of RFAs. I know that, but I think you guys have a ton of cap space, don't you, right now?
10, because we have a lot of guys that are off the books. So we have Bratt. Excuse me. We have Joe signed for the next bunch of years at less than $15 million. 12 million, or 4 million. So math is hard. So we do locked up $15 million for the next 4 years. Jesper Bratt is 7.8 at 6. So it's I can't do math again. I was looking at the wrong freaking thing. Let me start this over again. We have
you guys so yeah, they Brad at 7.875, Hischier at 7.25, and not at 6.
So
Mercer.
That's going to be the real question. And Fitzgerald is already talking about having to sign Mercer long term. He's going to have to sign Luke long term at some point too. Eric Hall apparently is coming back. He's willing to whatever it takes to come back.
He's a UFA.
He is a UFA. You have another McLeod that'll probably come back. And I can see them signing him. It's just a matter of someone like Thomas, Miles Wood, and Ryan Graves for nothing, or is Fitzgerald going to try to do 2 things? Either one, sign the small bridge deal and wait until the or sign and trade like he did with Severson, which was pretty epic what he did to get something for UFA, or do you just let him? I guess would be the third. Yes.
Yeah, but so with Graves, and I don't know that in his, I guess Severson, right? They wanted him for the 8th year, and that's why they did the sign and trade. Because if I was another team, I really wouldn't want, that contract. Not I would just rather go after him in free agency. But I don't know if Graves is going to get an 8-year deal, and that's why they would pull that.
He's a UFA. Yeah. I don't know if he's even coming back. They have, I think they have don't they have 6 or 7 guys that are RFAs that could potentially.
Yeah. So Kevin Ball, Sharon Govich, Meyer, McLeod, Boquist, Bastion. Yeah,
Sharon Govich.
Blackwood.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Blackwood's a UFA, isn't he?
No,
Blackwood is a
Blackwood's
RFA.
an RFA. Sharon Govich and Blackwood are the names that are being bandied around as far as being put out there for potential trades. Apparently Toronto is looking at Sharon Govich, is what I had heard last. I don't know who they're gonna. I think Blackwood's gonna be the hard one to move because he's not made it through a full season without being injured or having some kind of phantom injury or anything like that.
Yeah,
that one I think will be the hardest one. And I would love to see someone like Tatar stay because I think he did very well with the team. I think he was good for the young guys. Miles Wood is Miles Wood. If he stays, great. If not, it's a matter of it's we have the logjam on defense. Really, I would rather have Ryan Graves over Brendan Smith personally, because Brendan Smith was just like a mess at times. But again, Ryan Graves would have to. I mean, he's 28, so he's looking for a good payday. But the other thing with Ryan Graves too is he's going to want to go to a good team because he just watched all his friends win it in Colorado the year after he left. And the Devils have a chance to win it in the next couple of years, much to Billy Dean's chagrin. So what team that's on the precipice of a cup is going to sign Ryan Graves? That's the question. So
Rangers. We need a good third brand D-man.
I said a team on the precipice of a cup. You guys are not.
Yeah, exactly. All right, enough about your shitty team. I want to make this fun little comment.
Here it comes.
Here is what?
I don't know. Whatever you're going to say.
I just had it and then just pulled away. All right, first overall picks in the last 30 years that have had fewer points than Alexis Lafreniere after 3 seasons. Nail Yakupov, Marc-Andre Fleury, Rick DiPietro, Patrick Stefan, Chris Phillips, andEd Jovanovski.
Jesus Christ.
Love it.
That is terrible.
Yes. Great. Oh, my God.
I hope you guys...
See, at least on my team.
I hope you guys trade him and he just turns into a juggernaut of offensive skills.
Well, there was a bunch of Kraken players or Kraken fans have been like, oh, let's find guys on the cheap that we could go and fleece. They're like, oh, Alexis Lafreniere, they'll give him crap. And someone goes, how about Beniers McCann a first for Lafreniere Gaudreau? Who says no?
Send him to Tampa.
Rangers fans at least
send him to Tampa.
A little funny.
Yeah, so flourish in Tampa, absolutely. Any player that comes from the Rangers vastly improves their career when they go to Tampa. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that would really suck.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Rangers South.
Yeah, Rangers South. All right, a couple more things. We'll head out of here. What was the other thing? All right, question for you guys. I didn't realize this stat. So the most goals in the last decade? I think number one is for goals in a decade.
In the last decade, so 2010 to 2000 or to 2020.
Well, 2012 to 2022 or 2020.
It's not Ovechkin. Most goals.
It's Ovechkin, 483.
Yeah.
Who's second?
Crosby.
Crosby is fourth, 327.
He's fourth. I thought he'd be up there. I know Stamkos is up there. I don't know if he's second though.
Stamkos is third, 336.
Who the frick is second?
Is it McDavid?
Nope.
No.
He hasn't been around that long. If you think about it.
Yeah.
He's
true.
7 or 8 years. Yeah.
Who could have that many goals?
5.
It's not a lot.
5 is Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane's number 5. All right.
5
Who the frick is number 2 then?
So number 2, 343 goals. So he's 140 less than Ovechkin. You guys give up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I give up.
Former New York Islanders legend, Toronto Maple Leafs great.
Tavares?
John
Holy
Tavares.
shit. Wow.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that.
surprising.
I was like, wow. Yeah, I would not have thought that.
Okay.
The difference between Ovi and Tavares is the same difference between Tavares and the 66th ranker in terms of goals in the last decade. Ovechkin is blowing people away. I mean, he really is ridiculous. But all right, couple last little things. OEL gets bought out by the Canucks. They save $7.1 million per year over the next 4 years. They have $4.7 million in buyout money for the middle four over an 8-year deal. Olofsson goes to the Stars from the Avs as a trade. Spezza joins the Pens as assistant GM. Oh, we talked about Spezza. Sorry.
Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
We will do a draft show. I'm going to try to get Drew Way on here, talk a little bit about players. I want to really see. Everyone talks about Bedard as the next one. I think he's more of a Patrick Kane-esque and not McDavid, but still a really good player. So we'll talk to Drew Way possibly. You guys, anything else you wanted to touch base on before we?
I have one thing for Schwim. Rumors are Ross Colton may be coming to the New Jersey Devils from your team.
Yeah, I've heard that they might need to. They have to get rid of their some players on the roster again. They have to, do what they got to do again. But yeah, he was one of the names I heard being floated around out there. And he's from Jersey, so there you go. Jersey. I think he's from Princeton. I think Robbinsville.
He lives down in Robbinsville. Yeah.
So that would be, he'd be coming home if he gets traded. I don't know what they're going to get out of it. Maybe they'll actually get a pick in this upcoming draft because I think they only have 2 picks.
We don't have many
this year.
We don't have many to give, but at least
Tampa has. Tampa has a 6th and 2 7th-round picks this year. That's it.
You have less than us. You have a 6th and 2 7ths. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, but he is an RFA, so some wheeling and dealing may have to be done. May have to be a sign and trade type deal.
I just don't want them to re-sign Corey Perry, and I'll be happy.
Oh, I hope they re-sign.
I think they might re-sign him over your boy Killorn.
Killorn, I'm fine with that because I wish they would have traded him the year before or this year to get the most they could have gotten from him, but now they're not going to get shit. So, but. Please don't bring back Corey Perry. Please don't.
Sorry, quickly. Vegas did have a really cool tribute to the 2017 shooting victims from the Mandalay Bay shooting. They had all the victims' names on the placard across the stage, and then notable class of 2023 Hockey Hall of Fame: Ronik Lundqvist, Justin Williams, Jennifer Botterill, Rob Brindamore, Patrick Eliash, Sergei Gonchar, Curtis Joseph, Reggie Leach, Alex McGillney, Chris Osgood, Poyle, Corey Crawford. He better not be in the Hall of Fame. Keith Kachuk, Pierre Turgeon, Zetterberg. I think there's 2 locks in there.
And how many did they take out of this list?
5, right? I think 5.
Right.
When does Lanny McDonald make that phone call?
I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's this week, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
it's supposed to be before. Don't they do it before free agency always? So before July 1st.
Yeah,
I thought it was coming up this week. I heard on the radio when I was last having to drive to work.
So probably. Hopefully he's not calling Corey Crawford.
Yeah, really. My locks: Jennifer Botterill, Henrik Lundqvist, and Henrik Zetterberg. I think of those should be locks, right?
I think McGillney's too. I think McGillney should be in there.
Well, McGillney should be in. He should have been a lock a long time ago. That's
what I'm saying. He's way overdue.
But
so I think he's getting in there.
The guys that I think automatically would get in right now. They might. Yeah. McGillney still wait, which is just craziness. All right.
Is that all?
I can't hear the music.
I don't hear anything.
The music, it's not playing. I don't know. Something's happening. Anyways, my beer, solid 4.25 Sour Pasture Calves Tropical.
Nice. That rightness Dogfish Head, same thing. I'll go 4.25.
I like it.
Very tasty.
I give my water a 5.
Water's always 5.
I love water.
Oh, there it is. Now I hear it.
Hey.
I don't know.
There you go.
On here.
I don't either.
Take her home.
I want to wish a belated Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Thank you for everything you've done for everybody here on this podcast and everybody not on this podcast. There you go, Dean. Sweet shirt. Perfect.
There you go.
All right, boys.
Peace, boys.
See you next week.
All right.